Hello folks, and today we're looking at how to paint Temple Guard for Lizardmen. So first of all you want to prime model black, followed by a white highlight from Vallejo, and then we're using French blue over the white highlight, and we're just doing that all over the model. After that, all the more softer parts like the underbelly, under the arms, elbows, knees, under the tail, we're using light sea blue from Vallejo. I think those two colours work really nice together, and that's the theme for the rest of my army for it. The halberd itself, we're using a Baden black, so we'll just thin that down, and we're putting that through an airbrush. An alternative is, I guess you could use any of the Vallejo blacks. So for the golds, to stick with the theme of our army, we're using Retributor armour. And we're doing all the golden parts, armour plate, shield, any of the details, like the necklaces, bracelets, anything that the Temple Guard will have, we're painting gold. So this little model is a bit of a conversion, and I'll actually be working on a whole unit of them very soon. Hopefully, I say very soon, within the next sort of month or so. The tongues are done using Screamer Pink from GW. I really like the conversion, however, I think, to be honest with you, it'll be really difficult to get all the parts for 20 or so models that are like that. So the shaft of the halberd, we're painting a Baden black, just to match with the top part that we've done with an airbrush earlier. Whilst we're doing that, we're also going to be painting feathers black. After that, we're using Vallejo white again, and we're just doing a highlight on those black feathers on his head that we've just done. So after we've done that, we're going to be hitting it with the red from Vallejo, and the specific red that we're using is called Fire Red. Generally, the colours that I'm using for this, they're sort of, you can use them all across your army and just mix and match all the different bits and bobs. So the teeth and claws, we're using Xandri Dust, and we're going to be doing a highlight of Ushabti Bone. You can see I've done like the little green jade gems already. You can watch how I painted Gorok, and that will tell you all the colours that I have used on this particular shield as well. So I've done them both at the same time, just to sort of speed up the process really. So the ropes, strings, whatever you want to call them, I am using Doomball Brown. Once again, that is the colour that I use on all my strings / ropes for my entire army. That's just to tie the army together. Now we're moving on to Reichland Flesh Shade, and we're just putting that all over all of the golden parts that we've done earlier. For the basing, it's once again the same process as you've seen in the previous videos. All it is just some PVA, sand on top, and then we'll let it dry, and then we'll do a mix of 50-50 PVA and water, and then just dip the base in there, or use a brush to do an all over, like wash almost all over the base. Now we're using Rhinox Hide, and that's the standard colour that I use for my Lizardman army. We're now doing a highlight from Vallejo of Beastie Brown, followed by a dry brush of Tyrant Skull by Citadel. We just want to be really careful with that. Dry brushing's an easy technique, but it's quite difficult to get it right. The rim of the base, we're painting using a Baden black. Once we've done that, we're going to be applying some tufts and flock to our base. And all it is you just put some PVA on there and then just sprinkle the flock on top, and then I just use my thumb just to press it down just to make sure it stays on there. So once we've done that, we're going to be doing a highlight on the teeth and claws using Ushabti bone. I didn't really want to do a highlight on the shield. I didn't want to take too long to do it because it's going to be loads of these blokes. So I just did a dry brush of Retributor armor all over the shield. And that sort of did a nice highlight, and it sped up the process quite nicely. Unfortunately, you won't be able to do a dry brush on any of the other parts. I guess if you used a small dry brush, you could probably get away with using it on the leg armor. So still working on the gold, we have moved on to using Auric Armor Gold from Citadel. And we're just doing like a highlight on all the golden parts. We just want to leave the shield because we've already done a dry brush on that, so we're just going to leave it as is. However, if you did want to go an extra mile with it, you could do the following steps that I'm doing for the rest of the bits and bobs on this model. So once we've done Auric Armor Gold, we're moving on to Liberator Gold. And you want to leave the previous area of the model, and you don't want to touch all the bits that we've done in Auric Armor Gold. And the final highlight for the gold is just Stormhose Silver on all the sharpest edges. So here we're just using some Reikland Flesh Shade, and we're trying to do a recess shade, trying to get it in between all those scales. And that was pretty much the final step in our process of how to paint Temple Guard. I think it came out quite well. It was a simple guide after all. You can always go back to it after you've done the whole squad to this stage. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate any of the support. Please don't hesitate to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Not really seeing much of a growth at the moment, so would really appreciate the support from you guys. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye bye.